All right, good evening. Welcome to a winner's bracket, basically round of 32 determinant here for a Link to the Past randomizer tournament, SpeedGaming Live. This is actually going to be really exciting. One of these two racers is actually going to, assuming they win today, they're going to advance to the round of 32 and going to be able to compete in the actual SGL week. It's going to be really exciting for a really nice cash prize at the end. We've got two very excellent runners, Tam versus BigDunka. Tam, last year participant, made it all the way to the quarterfinals, and unfortunately got knocked out by GFE in a best-of-one tournament, and is ready to basically continue their streak into this year's bracket. BigDunka, of course, is a very versatile runner, probably best known at this point for basically all his ladder contributions. But this is going to be very talented, very high execution. Going to be a really great race. I am joined here today with Elaine, which is actually Dunka's teammate. Elaine, how are you doing? Are you ready for this race?
Hey, I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm pretty ready, I would say. Gonna be looking forward to this. Both pretty good runners, in my opinion. Tam, basically on top of the ladder leaderboard pretty much every season. And the ladder, obviously, everyone knows it, made by Dunka, almost by himself. So yeah, they kind of both, know each other, and it's gonna be very interesting to see who comes out on top here.
Yeah. So, both, of course, veteran members of the community have been racing, have lots of racing experience, tournament experience. Tam, I think, also has been pretty well known to do some spoil log races as well. So certainly very accustomed to, I would say, lower or low percent, and in fact, sometimes actually, wow, okay. Alrighty, we got a glove out of Link's house, so that's gonna be pretty nice. But yeah, but Tam is certainly very accustomed to lower percent. Sometimes their routing is pretty aggressive, in that they'll even see mail on library and they just won't pick it up, right, or something like that. So certainly probably just interested in going as fast as possible. But of course, as being able to go as fast as possible, what do we have here for SGL settings? We see our runners already dashing initially right through those bushes, almost as if they had boots and swords to begin with. Super nice. Picking up this 2 heart pieces so far. Right, so as part of, I guess, that lower percent execution that Tam and also Dunka is pretty accustomed to, we do actually see a modified heart item pool. So we're going to have 2 heart containers, 1 sanct heart, and everything else, I think it's 32 heart pieces is going to be the pool, basically in order to get our runners at a maximum of 14. So you're certainly going to see, if they get more health increase, it's going to be mainly from heart pieces, slower gradual growth here.
We see both runners traversing through escape here. Dunka opted to not pick up the one small magic container, which I think in general, I think it's a good idea to pick up 1, so you do not get burned by a hammer magic pad early, right?
Yeah.
Because you need at least 1 to throw down the powder.
Yeah, no, you actually bring up a good point, Elaine. So, ever since, I guess, maybe the smoke kind of started, with very common standard stars, especially I think we saw for the main tournament, people ended up picking up both magic pots. Sometimes people skipped on them, but it seems like, at least for this tournament, people have been picking up exactly 1, right? Just in this case, you don't want to get burned, as in the exact same scenario that you said. If you happen to find powder and hammer, and you're in Kakariko, you definitely want the magic to be able to make that check.
Yeah, it's very rare that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, we did pick up a bottle in Kakariko. Tam, oh my, dude, so late! Tam is also using Shy Girl, and they have double heartbeats. Is this Tam? This also reminds me of another fellow racer that happens also to be using the exact same stride in the exact same settings.
But you can see it's not the blue heart color, so that's giving it away.
Oh, okay.
But I do like it. I was gonna mention, I'm not sure who I'm rooting for, Dunka because he's my teammate, or Tam because they are rocking the best, right? I'm very
Well,
torn
I
here.
mean, so maybe it depends on who comes in for their interview. So if Duncan comes in first, you can say that you're rooting for him, and then Tam comes in later,
Okay.
you can say that you're rooting for them.
I just said both individually that I rooted for them, and then they will never know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so...
No one's ever watching back the VOD, right?
Well, of course not. No, I mean, unless you want to actually, No, that's why we're commentating in hopes that they, would appreciate our insightful words and analysis for them, and it's not just going to be like us making fun of them for like, an hour and a half or something. Something like that, right?
No, I mean, let's be real. We are mainly doing it for chat.
Yes, that is true. We are here to showcase. In this case, maybe we'll do a bomb counter for Dunka since he likes it so much on his screen. I think we already counted one so far in this game for him. Which I also So as part of I guess the double heartbeat, in this case we actually did see that both Tam and Dunka probably opted to actually pick up the safety card from the basement. You really don't want to take an early death here. It's at least like a good minute basically. Tam, man, please pick up another heart.
Yeah, Tam kind of trying their best to
yeah.
to oppose what you just said, right?
Yes. I mean, so luckily, I think probably the most dangerous parts of this cave are behind us. There are not going to be too many things, and there are going to be safety hearts in the back of this cave, so long as both runners safely make it over there. We did end up picking up the map earlier. I think that was a Zealot Cell, so we are going to be able to have to pick up everything else. Speaking of, wow, okay, so we're gonna have a Moon Pearl here in Sanctuary. What do you think?
I don't know, but you rarely see mids come up within the first like 6 chests or something of the game. So that is definitely starting off very interesting here.
Yeah, so I guess so early glove or early miss actually does give you a couple extra options. So I've certainly seen runners immediately go a sequence break up to Death Mountain. Never mind. If we're gonna go to Death Mountain, we're gonna go like in logic because we just found a flute here at Sanctuary.
So what do you think? Is Mira gonna show up soon so we can go to the Maya area and maybe
get
like a check about Moon Pearl or something?
Yeah, dude, that'd be pretty slick. Actually, it looks like though both runners gonna head to King's Tube, slightly different paths. I want to say Tam's is slightly faster, only because I've seen that more often. But I'm sure we're just splitting the frames here. Very convenient, certainly within logic. Looks like though we do get a little bit of pocket change. Always kind of useful in order to get at least 100 rupees by the time we get into Kakariko. But I mean, this is actually kind of interesting because I was kind of curious if they want to maybe do something do some alternate routes and then start from Kakariko from the bottom. Because if you can find Moon Pearl and then you can end your route north, like you can just go to Dark World, right?
Yeah, that's true. So we saw a quick map check, I think, by Tam, and I caught a 5-6 at Desert and a Crystal at Eastern. And looks like Link Force, our tracker for today, caught that Hera was also Crystal.
Yeah, no, of course, shoutouts to our diligent and vigilant tracker, Link Force, certainly veteran, very experienced, and gonna keep us honest and the rest of chat. All right,
yeah, so this might end up being a quick seed here if 3 pendants are in Dark World.
Oh yeah. What are we hoping for? Pendant Turtle Rock, so we don't have to go find that Ice Rod? Yeah.
Well, we got Fire Rod already, so it's not too bad, I guess.
Oh yeah, there's never been a situation where you get the Fire Rod early and you can't find the Ice Rod for the next like 15 minutes. Of course not. No.
Yes. So maybe just the last 3 dungeons to make it super quick.
No, that would actually be great. Yeah, Turtle Rock, Mire.
Locaine.
Yeah, that'd be great. Actually, it looks like Dunka ended up skipping the Lumberjack check, at least for the time being. We did see, or at least on Tam's side, I think we did see it was like a heart piece or something. It was not something that was worth their time in order to at least kill Aghanim for. Dunka, though, actually showing us a bit of game knowledge. We didn't get very many resources from, like, anything, basically. But there are some free bombs here right under the bonk rocks next to the Fortune Teller hut. You do want 3 to clear Kakariko, but I guess it's kind of a choice between getting 1 and 2 from there in hopes that you're going to get the rest of the bombs here you need in Kakariko.
Yeah, Tam also grabbing that bomb from the bonk rocks. Pretty nice find if you happen to get boots, which we do in all these races, right?
That's correct. This is one of the best modes. We get starting sword and boots. We can move fast immediately. We don't have to worry about anything. We can just dash right through the enemies. Maybe with the exception of like Lionel's, right? But we don't have to worry about stopping for most things basically. And looks like we actually did end up working our way over the 100 rupee mark, so don't have to farm any additional money anywhere in the village in order to pay off Bottle Vendor.
Yeah, it looks like both opted to just go straight to CAG from top to bottom, like a traditional route, I would say, these days.
Yeah, certainly very common. Especially, so they have, in this case, both a bottle and a flute. Like, one of the reasons why you might want to avoid Kakariko is hope you can pick up one of those so you don't have to come back. But, I mean, like, they have everything, right? So, why avoid the village any longer?
And they're just grabbing lots of money here.
Yeah, was that a toast on Dunka's side? I don't know what... It looked... The liquid looked clear. So let's hope it's water. Maybe he isn't, but there are other beverages. Also, maybe someone what Tam is drinking that might give them a bit more spirit. This is also, of course, I think one of the nicest parts of SGL, right? Is you get to see their face cams, you get to see all their reactions, you get to see how stoic, how expressive some of these runners are. It has been basically very, very entertaining and quite a treat to watch.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice twist to the regular restreams and streams in general. Because I think most runners opt to not have a webcam, so this is kind of interesting for many people, I think.
Yeah, no, and it's and you get to sometimes I think you can actually see enough of like their their webcam or faces in order to see like sometimes how they even like hold the controller. I mean, it's just really it's great to be able to see like a face or something else behind like the gameplay, right?
Yeah, it looks like, speaking of gameplay, we just got a Mass Assault, which is probably going to improve the gameplay by quite a bit, because sword upgrades until tempered are very, very much appreciated.
Oh yeah, I mean, certainly upgrade from Fighter Sword to Master Sword, no one's, one is required, but of course two, like, it just makes going through dungeons, like, just so much nicer. Would really appreciate, of course, the third sword. I think that is, like, maximum comfort level for these runners, if not most people. But of course, we are only going to see it capped at Temper Sword. Just, that webcam already paying off for us because I think that was not the cleanest movement on Tam's side, and certainly expressed some frustration as to how, in this case, Shy Girl ended up jumping down.
Well, we see a little bit of route divergence here. Tam going south shore, or at least to the dam, getting shovel. Meanwhile, Dunka checking over at eastern area, find out that Skywoods has a green pendant.
I guess, well, so there goes our hopes of all three pendants being S, but yeah, Dunka showing us that visit to the hospital is paying off pretty well, finding the mirror. I guess I can't say, like, people are super surprised if we find early Fire Rod and Skullwoods is a pendant. But, Dunka is very famous for highly valuing the front of Skullwood, so we're probably going to see him at least go there, sooner rather than later.
Yeah, you want to know what that mirror does? It opens both Hera and Desert as well. So there's two crystals that we can clear right now.
And already. Checkerboard? Yeah?
And checkerboard, yeah, maybe.
Tam, though, maybe she wanted to, or maybe they wanted to, in this case, come to South Shore first. Tam picking up Temper Sword from Mini Moldrum and the Powder.
Well, it looks like Ice is indeed a pendant and Thief's Town as well.
Oh, good. Pendant Thief's Town.
Which I gotta say, it's not the best layout, I think.
Yeah, so not only in this case, well, okay, so do you think Dunka, in your honor, Thelaine, as his teammate, gonna go into Pendant Ice? Like right now. Once we've got him in pro.
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, he can still bunny revive in there. It's open.
Exactly. Yeah. So, all right, we're gonna see how good of a teammate he really is in this case. He's probably not, he's. I was gonna say, I wonder if he's going to actually maybe take this a little bit more seriously, since there is a pretty nice money pot at the end of all this. You know, so I think the prize pool currently is sitting something like, it's just shy of under $5,000. Winner, whatever, grand winner, in this case, gets about half of that. So it kind of trickles down from there. So there's still quite a lot here on the line.
Yeah, and also we got to see the Maya medallion on Dunka's side here, which was Quake. So that's gonna be needed in this seed.
All right, yeah. So okay, so we are potentially a ice rod and quick rod, and I guess we still need to go see what is in what is our entry into Turtle Rock itself. No hammer means it's going to be a little bit awkward in order to get up there, maybe. Also, no hook shot. Oh, okay, yeah.
That's the other sword, I guess, or the last sword.
Yeah.
We saw Tam got that tempered in Mini Modem Cave, I want to say.
Yep, that's right.
There was a mushroom on Lake Hylia Island.
It's exactly what you want to see on Lake Hylia Island, because you definitely want to spend all your time getting that. Oh, wow. Desert is the... okay. Both locations, our runners here are just hitting their respective jackpots. So Desert, certainly very much required finding that Moon Pearl in addition to the sword. Tam, though, finds Canis Maria from Waterfall Fairy. Okay, so that's more motivation to go Dependent Ice, right? Now you have the Canis Maria?
No, we will see. Maybe when a bunch of options have been exhausted. Even though I think if people had to choose between Skyward, Sleeve Sound, and Ice as pendant dungeons, they would probably do the other ones first, right?
Maybe. Well, Dunka will certainly at least visit the front of Skullwoods, because, you know, that, well, I guess, you know, unless Dunka is, you know, just this big hypocrite. Sorry in advance if you don't end up going to the front of Skullwoods, Dunka. But actually, yeah, so Tam, though, having enough money to pay off Sword just made it barely over 500. That was a ridiculously worthwhile purchase, because they just bought the bow. And in SGL, this is actually one of the few settings, or maybe one of the only settings in Randomizer where the bows are not progressive. So Dunka, given that Eastern and Pod are both crystals, he 100% has to go buy that bow off of Zora.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of items already.
Yeah, Dunka had a really nice Lemons kill with the fire rod, picking up, of course, his first crystal. Yeah, 15 minutes. This potential. I mean, we are still missing a good amount of stuff. Hammer is probably going to be like our biggest ticket, but we do have Dark World access after Dunka picked up the Moon Pearl, and we do have a couple of questionable items, I guess, to search for. Right, Quake, maybe another medallion for Turtle Rock, Ice Rod, but we have a lot of good stuff early on.
Yeah, that's true. And we are also able to clear all 3 Light World dungeons already, so this is very quick so far. And 2 pendants.
Oh, good. we love dipping pendant dungeons. But I mean, this definitely gives both our runners like a lot to do, right? I mean, like, so I think in there's certain seeds where you basically get like Mitts, Hammer, Moon Pearl, Hookshot, Mirror, like in the first 10 minutes, let's say, and then it's like, what do you go to first, right? Because like everything in this case is open to you. Right? Yeah. But if you really, in this case, like you have something and you can do crystal dungeons, like that's certainly more appealing, right? You have some direction.
Yeah, even though I would say in the cases where you have to choose from like a bunch of options, it's most of the time gonna come down to like one bottleneck for both players. So it kind of like doesn't really matter if it's like 20 options to choose from, unless it's like a really fast go mode seed, like a jetty seed, right?
Yeah.
And then but this, yeah, again, it rarely happens as bad.
Let's hope for these runners' sake that it's not going to be. We would really like for these runners to put their execution on display and not basically flipping coins, right? And be on, let's say, like an ice rod hunt for the whatever, right?
Yeah, and I think we just saw Dunka pick up Lamp. I think it was in Agina's cave.
Yep, that's correct. Yeah. So I guess so with that lamp, what Tam here at least, well, okay, Tam was also fire rod, so but at least Tam got through these dark rooms pretty well, certainly as expected. Looks like it's actually a good Eastern Palace layout as well. Didn't have to go to the middle of the key chest in order to get the last item. But yeah, Tam's gonna be very shortly here picking up their first crystal as well.
Yeah, Dunka might be setting himself up for a small disaster here. I'm not sure how many rupees we saw in water for Fairy. I'm pretty sure it was 20 at least. I don't know what was in the other chest, but
the other
short the
chest,
money.
yeah. So the other chest had King Samaria, but
right.
I think it's the money that's really going to be the big issue here. You're absolutely right, because I'm pretty sure we had under 69 rupees in that chest. 20 sounds like a pretty plausible number.
Yeah, so what people could do in these cases, you know, there's like a cave in front of Ice Road Cave where you can just conveniently pick up like 20 rupees at a time.
Yes, we are aware of that one. But it is like, so what's the threshold? Do you think?
Yeah, that's a hard decision to make.
Now, I guess maybe one question here, at least for Dunka, is do you even, so it's like, I know the summoners don't even check Zora Ledge, because if you, especially if you don't have Zora money, because then if you check Zora Ledge, you see it's nothing, then it's like, basically you just have Zora like itself isolated, and then it's like, do you go, like when do you go back, right? But if you never check Zora Ledge, right, which is currently out of logic, which looks like Sotoka's gonna do, you have some more motivation to come back here. All right,
it's another 20.
Yeah, it's still not enough for Duncan. Oh no. All right, so we're certainly gonna hope for him to come back with more money sooner rather than later. So the good news, of course, is that you know, if, well, good news, he still has like an out with Catfish, right? In this particular case, because you know he also does it with the mirror. So if he comes over here, checks Catfish, you can still mirror over and get Zora. Although I don't know how common Catfish plays are, especially this early on. We have so much open to you.
Yeah, it's also not in logic yet, so this has to wait for a bit. But it's definitely out there, as you said. Like if you check Catfish and you have the money, you're definitely gonna mirror over and check Zora as well. Question is just if Dunka goes to Pod or Eastern before he goes to Zora.
Right. Yeah. Because
or
like
Catfish for that matter.
Yeah. No, that's definitely a good point, because Tam having the bow in this case, they are definitely going. You know, I guess like the hammer is still going to be, you know, like a big question. But assuming they do find the hammer, Tam's going to definitely be able to single dip it. All right. Yeah, we see Dunka picking up that green 20. In this case, we know it's replacement sword because we saw Tam get that sword out of Mini Moldorn first.
I think Tam skipped the big chest so far. Maybe they're just gonna kill ammo and then come back in if they don't get the second item in here.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay, so with Mitts, Lamp, Flute, everything here is very much in logic. So it looks like Dunka is just going to rescue the old man, and then. Yeah, I guess like with Mitts and, well, at least with Mir, we can at least get up to Hera. I think we're gonna need one more item in order to make the rest of this access over.
Yeah, but we can also clear in the, as we've seen in this tournament so far, Hera Basement is yeah.
Oh man, Hera
it
Basement.
has items pretty much every seat.
Yeah, and you know, and I don't know if it's going to be like considered to be that much different. I guess maybe the big qualifier, you know, you're more willing to sit through a Hera Basement just because maybe you want to play a bit more conservatively. But you know, you're Dunka racing against Tam. You're Tam racing against Dunka. I mean, how aggressive do you want to be here? But it is certainly quite the history of SGL so far for a Hera Basement basically being like the MVP location.
Yeah, Tam grabbing their Moonper. Meanwhile, Dunka, I think, is making the right calls. He's Ether Tablet in Specro Cave, but decides to go into Hera first. So he doesn't have to go around and climb the mountain, or that one step, like big staircase at the very left once again.
Oh,
Unless
yeah.
Hammer is in here, then it's kind of a like weird decision to make, right? Like, do you drop down in the mirror again, or do you just pick Ether up if you will eventually need it for T-Rock? I mean, yeah, I guess he could just come back and pick it up on his way to T-Rock. Whenever he finds out that he needs it.
Yeah, I guess that's also a good point, because like we know Meyer entry is Quake, so the only possible use in this case for Ether is potentially for Turtle Rock, right?
Yeah.
So it's very possible you don't even need it at all. And that would actually be a good time save if we end up finding out later, you know, that Turtle Rock is whatever, Bombos or something else, right? Then we've got some time save.
I kind of want it to be Bombos, so we get to see more of the seed.
Oh, I thought you were saying you want to see Bombos when we get into Ice Palace, but we already have the Fire Rod, so we don't need Bombos.
Yeah, but rumors have it that if you need one of the two items, Fire Rod and Bombos, and you have the other one, it's most of the time it's going to be an Ice Palace.
It's in the Ice Palace? Okay, you know what? And the fact that you're even here, you, the Link, are personally here, we believe that Ice Palace is going to hold our key to progression today. Okay, so I think Dunka only found, I want to say he only found one item so far in Terra. Okay, so it's going to be a 50-50 shot between whether or not he wants to sit in the basement and wait for that last item as soon as he gets this bumper skip, or it's going to be on Moldorm himself.
Yeah, meanwhile, Tam...
oh, Tam! Oh,
Tam
no!
8 rupees short for chess game, but decides to clear Village of Outcasts here.
Yeah, of all things, you know, Tam, you know, barely made it over to 500, right? And had 2 rupees left to their name, and unfortunately 22 is not enough. Oh my god! Picking up 5, still not enough for chess game. Alright, so it looks like the Dunka successfully has conquered Moldorm, but unfortunately we see that small key counter go up to 1. So...
Yeah, and he did not look happy about that at all.
Okay, so surely Tam is going to be able to find 3 more rupees, right, in Thieves Town?
Yeah, there's also rupee pots that drop 5 rupees somewhere. Don't ask me where, but they are here. I know it from Inverted.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I think also Dunka really likes Inverted too, right? Like, wasn't he the one who came up with like Ambrosia or whatever it is? Or was that?
Yeah, Dunka, as I mentioned earlier, being responsible for the ladder for the most part, he comes up with a lot of weird modes.
For 49 out of 50 Gold Rush Triforce Hunt, that's on the docket for season 10.
But yeah, Tam getting a 20 rupee drop here from one of the Zazags, gonna bail them out.
Okay,
Not
so
sure
I think
how many
that was...
items we saw.
I want to say that was 2 items, small key, big key, and then 20 rupees and then heart piece. That's what I want to say, but feel free to correct me.
Yeah, I saw the heart piece.
Oh, that was nice actually. So Tam actually, I don't know if Tam didn't look super happy, I guess, when they picked up Sank Heart, but that is one of 3 effective heart containers we have in the game. All right, so it looks like did we find anything in? I guess I'm guessing we found nothing in Hera basement. That's what it looks like.
I'm guessing as well, because I'm pretty sure our fantastic tracker would have caught it otherwise. So yeah, it doesn't look like Hera basement was.
Tam, poor Tam. After Zora picking up that great bow, they are so poor in this case. Only can dig up bombs. We don't even have enough money right now for archery game. We need 3 more rupees in order to afford anything in order to get us that money. Oh man, man, that shovel is not only lucky for some other people, that is really bailing Tam out in this case. Finally has enough money in order to get enough, hopefully they could do this and pay off Digging Game. Okay, so next step, of course, is we need pod money, so maybe Tam will stick around and get some more, or they're just gonna hope that Digging Game has enough for them. Okay, so Digging Game in this case costs 80 rupees, so we're going to be down to 61. So hopefully, we're going to get at least some combination of like red rupees. No.
No.
Oh man. Okay. Hype Cave can still bail us out. We got K45. We got South Shore. Man. Oh yeah, we have Smith Chain too. I forgot about that because we have the mitts and the mirror. All right. Okay, so we got chances here in order to get some more money.
Meanwhile, Dunka's doing his name justice. So
Oh,
so you
yeah.
did not call him out.
Okay, that's good. We're even gonna go to the back here of Skull Woods. It is green pennant, as he found out from Sahashala. So there's gonna be 3 items, especially one here on Mothula, or at least whatever the turn-in.
But yeah, very good thinking here from Tam, in my opinion. Remembering they have the shovel, they can dig up items. Because I think most of the time you just like accept, okay, I don't have the money, and you just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
At least I've never seen someone dig like in front of digging game for money.
Oh man. I don't know if it was just like an animation thing, or maybe I just didn't see it correctly. I thought one of the bottom torches, or the bottom left torch on Dunka's side didn't actually light, but the door's open, so who am I to know?
Yeah, that happens sometimes. It can also happen
really?
like during the Ganon fight. Like you light the torch, but it's not like animated, and it kind of looks like you missed torch glitch, but it's actually working.
Really? Wait, Tam!
Yeah, it's...
Tam, not bothering. All right, we don't need money right now. They are confident they're gonna eventually pick up enough funds. Maybe it's just like not worth it at that point, right? It's like maybe you have a reflex, right, for like seeing K45, and you know it's trash at this point, and then you just don't pick it up.
Oh, Duncan not having a great time here. Morph is not cooperating at all.
Wow, what a close fight on Dunka's side. This is also kind of another one of those consequences of SGL settings. Even though Dunka's got bottles, they always come empty. He will need to actually like consciously go find some safety somewhere, whether it's finding the bug net and catching a fairy, or going to potion shop or buying something, hoping you get lucky with waterfall. I mean, Dunka basically was on his last hurrah there.
Yeah, we saw waterfall. Fairy gave him like a B.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of out. So let's see. I'm not sure. Did we get both items in here?
Yeah. Not from the back so far. Yeah, Tam picked up 300 from Stumpy and 50 rubies from the dig spot. So you know, I think Tam is more than comfortable now with her financial situation.
Yeah, picking up the bad mail upgrade for this sprite, but gonna be very happy to see blue mail, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So, Elaine, where is the purple chest? It's not following Tam.
No. It's not.
It's not. Oh man. Alright, okay, so it looks like at least Tam has successfully warped over the purple chest here to the light world. Only getting 20 rupees though. I guess it seems so insignificant after the 2-300s back to back. So it looks like Dunka. I assume Dunka got both items out of Skull Woods. Looks the front Willie's was another heart container. I assume the other one was not important.
And Dunka gonna go and do his lumberjack check. And we are very slowly running out of like in-logic spots, even though I guess East Darkwood, as someone mentioned in chat, is basically open if we kill Aga. But I don't think we're gonna see that here. Both are probably just gonna current jump over if they need to.
I guess also, so Dunka, I think also, when he was in Skull Woods, he potentially could set up a water walk. I think I've also seen that too, like right off like the pits or something like that.
You need to dash over the pits and bonk or something. And then that basically sets up a water walk the same way it does in Ice Rock Cave.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I mean, they're like Dunka's pretty far now. But yeah, as you said, they probably have their plans in this case in order to get up there if they need to.
I think. I was gonna say, I think Dunka's just probably gonna go do his Darkwood loop, which Tam just did. We have to see if Dunka decides to go further into Thieves Town or just bail after the first 4.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then there's not much left. It's just East Darkwood and Sahashala for the Green Pendant turn-in.
So my guess is maybe Dunka's hoping for that bow to show up before he goes over to the Eastern Palace area, or whatever pod. Well, I guess like from his perspective, he's missing hammer and he's missing a bow, right? So he has even less incentive to go over there.
Yeah, that's actually true.
But I mean, like currently the bow, even though it's really, I mean, it's really great that for Tam that they have it. Hasn't I guess like they cleared out Eastern, but I think the main prize of Eastern was just a crystal. I think.
Yeah, I saw.
If there was actually anything that was actually worthwhile.
I however saw Tam skip the vanilla Biki chest. I'm not sure if that had an item.
No, the layout was good for Eastern.
The layout was good. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Alright, let's see if Tam decides to do the basement after they kill Moldom here. I would guess so, because as I mentioned, we're slowly running out of spots, and Hera basement being infamous in this tournament, right? You want to go there and get that item, no matter what.
Tam, not happy with the fact that we saw a small key. We did see a Dunka prayer when Moldorm was exploding, and unfortunately, I guess no one was there to listen. Alright, so is Tam going to go back in? Tam is leaving. Oh, Tam is going back in.
Never mind.
Alright, that was definitely a fake out. Probably, I mean, you're never thrilled to sit through this basement, right? Especially, I mean, you're really happy when something's here, but I mean, like, you never look forward to something that you basically can't see. You can't fast forward through.
Yeah, and also there was only one item in Thiefstone Front. It was just the heart piece, and then we got both keys and the compass.
Oh, wow, okay. That is not valuable at all. Yeah, and of course, unlike Tam, Dunka does not have to dig his luck for anything, because Dunka hasn't pay off the Zora yet, so his money situation is quite comfortable.
Yeah, that's the potential to save some time. We also know he's gonna pick up 600 more rupees here very shortly.
Oh yeah,
or even 650, I think. So.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a good point. So maybe that'll actually motivate Dunka to go back, because we're just flush with cash at this point. And maybe from his perspective as well, like Zora could also just have the hammer, right? That certainly has been at least one seed where Zora has has fake runners out where it was either like with the lamp or the hammer or something like that, and yeah, Zora had the hammer.
Yeah, I think it was one of the qualifiers even.
Okay, so move for move basically looks like actually Dunka and Tam outside of Eastern Palace and Zora, and for that matter, because Tam had the bow. Runners are looking like just kind of retracing each other's steps. I guess at least for the time being, we're gonna see if Tam decides to also clear out or a place like beat Mafula for the green pendant.
So yeah, for Dunka, right now it's a matter of, do you go and dip into Eastern before you do Zora, or do you just hold off and do that first and then go over? Because I can see him like turning in the green pendant and then just going over and then like last locating Zora. I think that's very possible. And I also don't think you just current jump over to break logic because you can, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
you have other appealing checks open, and I guess as bad as it like seems to us, I think an Eastern dip for potentially 3 items and a green pendant turn in is not the worst option.
Yeah, but I mean, of course, based on what we know, right? I mean, like, we really want Dunka to be able to go over to Zora first, but yeah, we don't know how. I guess it's just kind of a question of how isolated does Dunka think in this case that Zora is at this point. So, it's also, it looks like actually caught with Tam is quick swapping over to Fire Rod, reminded us that they do have the powder. It is actually something else that they can do, because they can, from the Dark World, they can mirror over. But I guess like the downside is, of course, you have to basically forego your portal, right? Okay, so Duncan's going to be able to turn in his rupee is going to get even closer over to that 1,000 mark. Unfortunately, it would have been kind of nice to just stay there forever, but you know, whatever. Looks like the Tam going straight to the back as well. Going to also take down Mokula. Hopefully, he's gonna have a slightly nicer time because Dunka was pretty shaky on one heart, very tense. But looks like Tam has 0 problems.
So yeah, where do you go? That's the main question.
Where do you go? Yeah, that's a great question. You don't have flippers. You don't have hookshot. You don't have hammer. Like. So okay. So right. So what did you say? We have that. We have
back of thieves for 3
back
items.
Of thieves. Yep.
We have green pendant turn in and yeah, Aga for E-Star Cold Access basically.
So okay. So Aga
like
is
overall.
Yeah. Okay. So right. So we can't actually defeat Aga, right? Like for our Dark Cold Access, but then like maybe at that point, like you would just do current jump.
Yeah, we see what he does after green pen and turn in here. Yeah, chat mentioning something. We also have magic bats there, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so both of them have to basically they both of them skipped it because they were interested in doing Smith Chain, and they didn't want to lose their portal to returning purple chest. Though, yeah, so looks like though, so green pen turn in from Dunka's side that we saw is not worthwhile. So unfortunately, there was no real value here in Skullwoods, of course, unless that pendant's going to count for something. But actually, unfortunately for Dunka, because we know this, he's going to come into Eastern Palace without that bow.
Yeah, it makes sense, so can't really blame him.
Yeah, I mean...
You just clear green pen and Skywoods, and it's like 4 items in one area versus 1 on Zora. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
I guess like the consolation at least for Dunka is that it is a nice Eastern Palace layout, right? So he's going to be able to get all of the items at least out of here. So then he knows that when he comes back here for Pod, right, he can just kind of mirror over. And he has the boost, right? So going back to Armos, is just really going to be a repeat of basically these like front couple rooms, right?
Yeah. It's just the issue that Tam is a really strong runner, right? And like even these small like time losses, they matter in the end. If you're facing a strong opponent.
Yeah, no, I mean, Tam made it last year all the way to basically the quarters. Lost, I think, to GFE, who eventually made it to semis. Yeah, so actually it looks like Tam is going to try and do an Ancilla splash elite. Wow! Dude, that was pretty dang smooth. So I think Tam also defeated Armos, right? So they had to reset something. That's why there was a bunch of more spamming of stuff.
Yeah, that's correct. Because if you defeat Armos and you shot a lot of arrows already, it kind of messes with the variables that you want to set, like setting up this glitch, right?
Mm.
So that's why you kind of have to like reset the values and then like start from the beginning. I don't know the very specifics, but that's kind of the gist of it.
Yeah, so it's some combination of spamming the lamp and throwing down a bunch of bombs, and then I guess using the rest of your resources to do, I guess to actually do the Insula, whatever fake flipper skip.
Yeah, Dunka's not gonna be very happy.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we see some rage slashes.
Oh man, yeah, no, you're right. Like he was just in Eastern, and he's going to pick up his bow like right now. So at least if Dunka in this case isolates Catfish, we saw from Tam that it was only 20 rupees. So if Dunka never goes back to Catfish, it's gonna save a little bit of time over Tam.
Yeah, and after this he might be incentivized to skip a little bit more here and there, right?
It's the dynamic routing in this case, based on your forward decisions, certainly could be very impactful.
Yeah, no rage slashes, but we saw some slight head shaking.
Yeah, Dunka is nodding his head in the horizontal direction. Never a good sign.
So Tam going over to Pod right here. kind of banking on Aga being like logically required for the seed. And Dunka, let's see where he goes after he enters Dark World here. Bag of Thieves into Magic Bat, or is he just gonna go and jump over as well? Yeah, he's not happy about the options he has.
No, I mean, do you want to go over to right? So it is like pod is technically logically accessible after you defeat Aga, which is like 5 minutes or something like that. So you can avoid it, just like what Tam did with jumping over. Certainly, I mean, it's a lot of time saved at that point. Certainly hoping that the hammer's here for Tam's. If you're rooting for Tam, if you're rooting for maybe Hammer in the Back of Thieves, this is going to be really good for Dunka. I guess, yeah, like, and who knows what his decision, how it was influenced by, like, you know, was it influenced by the late bow, was it influenced by Green Pennant was nothing, or was it just maybe he thought this was his best option, right? I mean...
So, I don't want to lie, but it might also be possible that Dunka is not entirely sure about the current jump. Because I know, like, Diver Down and Icebreaker, he doesn't like these glitches, and those were, like, kind of newish, right? And current jump was also about the same, like, era of glitches.
Oh, really? Okay.
So maybe he just doesn't want to do it. I'm not sure, though.
Okay, you know, and I think, yeah, I guess we're just have to, I gotta see. I mean, if something's back here, of course, it's going to be very good for Dunka. Unfortunate though, like, so that was the map, right? And you said that we saw the compass, like, in front? Yeah, and we also picked the small key, so we are going to guarantee, unless the hammer is actually here, which, I'm actually not sure what the logical implications are, Dunka is gonna have to leave another item in the big chest.
Yeah, that's correct. I'm just thinking about something. You know what I would do if I could not current jump and I clear this pendant dungeon? I would just go into ice.
Yes!
And hope that East Dark World only has flippers.
Oh yeah, that's true, because that actually also could be another ticket in. Oh, but we found the hookshot in the whatever bottom of Thieves Town in this case. That is going to be actually really okay. Not one is required, right? Because Swamp is a crystal, but also that also gives us access to East Town as well.
That opens up a bunch of big ticket caves, right, on that mountain. So yeah. Maybe this will keep Dunka in the game.
All right, so far though, I don't think Tam has found anything much. I guess okay. According to thank you for many pause buffers on menu to do hammer yelp. It's found at least the big key. So I don't think there was a and not
Tam also found flippers.
Oh, they did. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes it really easy because there are always 4 keys in the front, and so the fact that we saw the big key and flippers here, means that we found the other 2 things. So. Did you happen to catch what was on blind?
No.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna assume that it was just not important right now, because I mean the big ticket item that we got out of Thieves Town right now is that hook shot. So presumably, Dunka is going to do. I mean, he's doing powder. Doesn't have the hammer still quite yet, so hopefully magic bat. Or it's not magic. Hammer pegs doesn't actually have anything. Because it's also going to be probably another one of those like isolated items. Oh, Tam found the half magic replacement here in Dark Maze.
Yeah, I think that was all items already as well. So nothing on Helma, if I counted correctly here.
Okay.
And yeah, Dunka probably gonna head up to the mountain. Not sure what Tam's plan is gonna be here. Ice Palace, it looks like.
Yeah, maybe because Tam just picked up the flippers, right? So, what better place to go?
Or maybe it's just a hobo check. Yeah.
So we do know from Dunka's side that hookshot is in the bottom of Thieves Town.
The maiden cell.
Yes, maiden cell. Yes. So Tam does have flippers. They do have the mirror. How appealing, in this case, is the first chest of Swamp. You don't have hammer, right? So, but it is logically open now for them.
I think you would do Bag of Thieves first though, before you head all the way around to Swamp, and then
Oh yeah, okay.
potentially have to go back, right?
Yeah, that's true. Because you don't have the hammer, right? You can't like easily get to like the normal whatever south of Link's house Dark World portal.
Yeah. But this looks like an ice play now.
Yeah, is this gonna be ice? Alright, it's alright. Let's see the value of Ice Palace for the lane.
So yeah, both players kind of wanting to find that hammer right now. Although I gotta say that there's probably better items to find in ice, like Ice Rod, for example. Would
Ice
be a
Rod
very
would be
great
swell.
find. Or the Quake Medallion, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. We were trying to focus on the hammer for so long. We still need more items for Go Mode, like potentially very hidden items such as Quake and Ice Rod. We are gonna. It looks like we're gonna be able to get a check though.
Oh, no.
Tam's thinking. Tam is out. All right, Tam has found Quake Medallion. Quake Medallion. Yes, Quake Medallion, and they have entry into Mire.
Yeah, and I think that's where we're going right now. So I think Tam is like full banking on the fact that Aga is probably required to get these flippers.
Dunka has not found anything useful so far up on the mountain. You know, we've done all the Paradox, which I think just had some resources. Super Buddy Cave also didn't have anything, so we're gonna be able to check Hookshot Cave. We're gonna I think we can check Floating Island. I'm not sure what that was. But we're also gonna check the Medallion, which is Bobos.
Yeah.
I guess we know where all three is, right? So I mean, not Dunka, but in this case, like we don't have to be too worried.
I did not see what was on that ledge, but
it was red, and we already have the cane and the flute, the cane, the cape, and the we have everything important that's red, so I'm not worried.
Alright, let's see Hookshot Cave. He's opening the first and important chest.
Oh my god. Well, that's because he came in from the south, Elaine. Like, it's really easy when you come in from the bottom.
It actually is, yeah. So Dunka's down to Spiral Cave, and then he kind of has to do like Aga or jump over, and then maybe both is the correct answer here.
Yeah, and it's very good for you to exclude, in this case, exclude Spike Cave, because we still don't have that hammer, so we can't actually get in.
So let's see. If you're a Dunka fan, you want Hammer to be in this chest. Does he know about Aga? Like, I know that sometimes it happens and you kind of blank out that Aga is an option as well.
Oh.
He's gonna clear Eastern here and think about what's going on. Yeah, this happens sometimes.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because right. So Dunka also knows that there's no more items in Eastern, right? But yeah, if this is actually good thinking time. It is something that you have to do because you know you need this crystal. So it's not going to be hopefully too bad. You're gonna be able to get Dunka some. It's almost like like one of those like pilot spoiler tournaments where it's like you need more time for the pilot to like think about how you're gonna further route. So you just basically send your runner to go do something that you know is necessary.
Yeah.
All right, so Tam is continuing to Mire. I did see a bug net from Compass Chest. I'm unclear if we've actually found the other item or the big key, but Tam is doing the vanilla big key chest, so something important has to be here.
So, I mean, in Dunka's head, it kind of makes sense because you go and check Lumberjack and you kind of write it off and you're like, yeah, Aga's not required. Very cool. I got my Dark World access. Nothing on Lumberjack, right? Because these seeds come up very rarely, so it can be difficult to spot.
It is really cool when you actually realize it too. Okay, so Tam looks like found the big key in its vanilla location. It looks like, though, from the fact that we're still not going back to Vitreous means that we are still looking for that second item.
Yeah, and also chat pointing out that or asking if Dunka knows how to current jump. I don't think that's the main issue here, because Dunka thinks he like missed something. That's progression, right?
So I saw Tam nodding their head, and unfortunately, we're back to heartbeats. Oh, is that man? All right, so okay, so it looks like chat is saying that Tam found the hammer as her second item here in Mire.
Yeah, we just got it in that one chest. I don't know which one it is, map or compass. I think it's map chest then.
The map chest, yeah. The compass
Yeah.
one is fire locked, yeah.
Okay.
Man, that's probably why Tam was so pleased in this case. Finally being able to find the hammer. You know, I guess this is one of those consequences where maybe you have an early miss, so then you get late hammer. Alright, so it has just enough magic, it looks like, in order to pull off the last two spooky shots.
Yeah, it looks like Dunka's gonna head into Aga Tower, so that's gonna be a juicy time loss on his side, sadly.
Man, I mean, imagine having to follow logic, man. That is, I mean, but I think it's really good on Dunkas in order to even recognize this to begin with, because you know, like it's not a good feeling to begin with, right? Where you don't know what else you can do, or like you think you exhaust all your options, or you think you like miss something, right? Like because that's when like panic or like tilt sets in, and then you have to basically recover from that. So I think the fact that even Dunka even recognizes this is really good. It is unfortunate, of course, that we kind of saw Tam basically, you know, kind of bypass Aga, but at least Dunka was able to recover and get himself at least back on the right path.
Yeah, and I would go so far and say he's not completely out yet as well, right? Because Tam still has to go and find that hook shot, and that might not be like a check they're coming back to anytime soon. Especially because they get distracted now by all the hammer checks and the things they just got into logic.
Yeah, because now
like the rest of Ice Palace, or
I was gonna, well, so Tam can also now reach East Death Mountain too, right? With that hammer and the mirror.
Right.
Yeah, so like, and we know that Tam is gonna have to still go through Turtle Rock. So I mean, like, so they certainly, I guess, aren't sorry. They also have Swan Palace that without the hook shot. That is also an option for them.
Yeah, we're also still looking for the ice route, which we have no idea where it is.
Right.
Which is basically gonna be our no mode at this point.
All right, so Dunka's actually making some pretty good headway here in Aga Tower. Boomerang is always very thankful, of course, for Circle of Pots room. All right, so Tam finishing up basically some loose ends in the southern part of the world. Looks like they are with that hammer going to take their chances. Blind. Tam hasn't been up here at all, right? So they're just blind grabbing Ether at this point.
They might have checked it.
Okay, I guess I don't remember.
Yeah, I think they might have checked it on the way to Hera and then just decided to skip it for now, and because they have T-Rock basically open, so they're just grabbing it now on the way to T-Rock.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. So certainly, of course, for Tam is hoping that well, their hammer is like their the access to like the rest of the mountain with like I don't know, like 20 checks or whatever, right? So they're certainly hoping that they're gonna find the ice rock before they enter Rock, and if they don't, which we've seen on Dunka's side, that's whatever the case. They're gonna hope that the ice rod, of course, is inside Turtle Rock, which has certainly been the case before. Now Tam with that hammer though also does have Spike Cave open, with the Cane of Burner as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so Tam's got some. Tam has Terror Basement, I think, because they never did that, and Spike Cave. yeah, these are really appealing checks.
I didn't go Tam back in for Hera basement?
Oh, you're right. That's right. Tam, that's right. You're right.
It was like
Yeah.
the double fake out.
It was the fake out. That's right. I just remember the first part.
But yeah, good for Dunka here is though that after Aga's done, he is kind of on a clear path, right? Because he's gonna pick up his flippers, which will lead him only into ice, which will give him Quake, and then it's kind of a like decision point for him. Does he keep going? Maybe for an ice rod that's might be still in ice, or does he just go straight to Maya, get his hammer, and then he's pretty much out of a lot of options. On the other hand, though, Ice Drop might also show up in Thieves Town Big Chest, which would be very bad for Dunka.
Oh man, yeah, that would be a really terrible spot. That would probably be the worst spot, right? Probably also as observed through Dunka's very animated facial expressions, this Aga climb and trip, I mean, is just kind of like, I would say like rubbing salt into the wounds, because it was so long for that fight. There were so, I mean, we didn't know, I think lost count of how many balls there were.
No, Dunka, that's the wrong way, dude.
Oh no, so I was actually wondering if he was willing to do Catfish, because he'd already gone back to do Zora, so Catfish was pretty isolated, but you know, here we are.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of want to minimize like bad trips here as well, right? Like Dunka does not want to go into pot and then find hammer on Catfish, so I guess it makes sense.
That's true.
And either way, getting back to like the other location, it's gonna be kind of fast, because if you just save and quit, you're gonna be back up on the pyramid with that Aga death and the mirror.
Oh yeah, yeah. So one thing that Dunka will now have to remember is that save and quit is going to, once he's in the Dark World, is going to always put him back to the pyramid. That is something sometimes that runners, especially when you save and quit out of Spike Cave, is something that, you know, you're like, oh yeah, I have the mirror again.
Yeah, but it's not too bad if you have flute in your inventory, right? Then you can just mirror and flute away.
Right, yeah.
But it gets awkward if you don't have flute, because then it's just like an extra like 10-15 seconds of time loss. Right.
Alright, so as you are predicting, Thalane, looks like Dunka is headed straight into his next logical, accessible location, which is Pod, and we just see Tam pick up flippers, so you know, maybe this is just one of those times where we need to, you know, channel, you know, Error 216's, you know, mentality and solidarity, and just dive into. I mean, we said we should just dive into Ice Palace like super early, right?
I mean, there's not much left after he gets flippers, right? Because this is last location right now, Pod, and then he only gets flippers, and then I think it's between. I think it's between Hobo, if you didn't check it, I'm not entirely sure, and Ice Palace, so... And I guess first just Swamp, but that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's so far, yeah. I want to say that Dunka did check Hobo, just because he was so close to Zora money, and I think maybe he was trying to hedge his... Like, hopefully Hobo would give him something, and I think it didn't end up working out.
I'm not sure if he save and quit at Zora Ledge, or if he just ran all the way back. Right, because he looked at Ledge, and then...
Yeah. But right, I thought he went to Zora... sorry, I thought he went to Hobo first, was all. Because he was trying to get Zora money.
Oh, right, because he was swimming. Right, I remember that. Yeah, okay.
Alright, so Tam...
It's only ice left, yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, yeah, no. So Tam actually, I would say, is, you know, one of the hardest things to remember is going the opposite direction of torches when you don't get shot.
So yeah, Tam really wants to find the Ice Rod, like, in T-Rock right now, so they do not have to double dip.
Yeah. And, I mean, like, I guess it's a minor thing that Tam could technically save their portal, the Ice Rod in here, but I mean, like, they still have to do Swamp, so I'm not really sure how useful that portal save's gonna be.
Yeah. For all we know, Ice Rod can very likely be in Swamp as well.
Yeah, Yeah, but of course for Dunka, because he's already defeated Aghanim, there's no option for him. So I don't know if that'll end up like changing his, you know, his decisions later on.
Yeah, I don't think Dunka's gonna go into T-Rock until he like cleared at least Swamp and got his Quake and Mire and everything, right? So the only thing Dunka might leave behind, I think, might be 2 items in ice and hammer pegs, some big chests.
Oh right, hammer pegs. Yeah, that's a thing. Still pretty isolated.
I would say everything else is pretty much like on route. But yeah, maybe we just get Ice Rod here, and then it's gonna be the hookshot hunt for Tam. Maybe they double dip Swamp, which is also looking very likely at this point.
Yeah. Typically, runners, at least I haven't seen like them go into Swamp without the hookshot unless it's like one of their absolute last choices.
But yeah, there's definitely some nightmare scenarios for both sides. Like, let's say one item on Trinex, and then there's like Ice Rod somewhere in the front of Swamp, and then Tam is just gonna go back to Trinex, thinking it's hookshot maybe. I don't know, some wild stuff can happen still. So
I mean, can we I thought we wanted these runners to finish, right? And go fast.
Oh,
these are not good.
It just might take a while.
Oh, okay. So, well, at least, okay, regardless of what happens, so the winner, of course, of this race, this is winner's bracket in a double elimination tournament. So the winner is going to move on to the round of 32, and is going to be able to secure their spot in the second half of the bracket, and they're going to be done, basically, for this stage. The person who does not win, in this case, will have their redemption arc opportunity, and it could drop down to, in this case, a loser's bracket. They get one more shot. And I think in this case, for Dunka or Tam, it's going to be one more race that decides their fate if they can enter the bracket.
And there's only like 3 possible opponents left for them to drop, against, I guess, if that makes sense, in the losers bracket, and that's F. Coughlin, Lauria, and Spleeby. So there's definitely still a chance for a spot in the top 32 as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you definitely bring up a good point, and it's and of course, don't let the losers bracket name fool you. There are some really ridiculous names there, just because you get some really good ridiculously good matchups between 2 top runners, and one of them has to go down there, right? Oh, Dunka! Reminding us that the mushroom still exists! Oh, that's we saw that so early on, and we're like, oh man, we really hope nothing's here, because you need so many things in order to make this put this logic, and not only to mention, it's also very inconvenient. It is blue, and it is curved, but it's not round, unfortunately. So Dunka may be picking up. All right, okay.
No, I think he did not want it.
Oh, was he just trying to talk to the person and getting a refill? All right, Tam finally made their way over to Laser Bridge, picking up our one and only shield in the game. Oh, Tam, please be careful. Lasers will kill you because you're on blue mail and 3 hearts. Oh, silvers are pretty nice.
Yeah, that's not an ice rod though. So
it is not an ice rod.
Tam has to return in some shape or form here, and decides against a portal save, which makes sense.
Okay, so what do you think? Do you think Dunka's gonna leave after Quick?
I want to say no. But he probably just feels very behind doing Aga, so he might just go ahead and be more incentivized to skip things, right? So we see what he decides.
Tam definitely gave this some pretty good thought, right? They definitely hesitated before eventually just getting out. But also, okay, so it looks like though Dunka, certainly has been very thorough so far. Is continuing on Ice Palace. Does have the Canis Mario, which they picked up very early on from Waterfall Fairy. So at least it's gonna. Even though if you said the lane that Dunka doesn't like Ice Rigger, his execution for that trick is looks quite good.
Yeah, we've also already seen 2 items here, so maybe it's a quick ice dip. Even if Ice Rod's not in here, it's not gonna be super long. Oh, but he doesn't have hammer, I guess. I guess that's why Tam also decided to not get the rest, right?
Okay, yeah. Well, I guess with Icebreaker, maybe this is actually gonna be a bit fast. assume you can execute quickly, right? They pull 2 items out, and it looks like maybe it wouldn't be too much faster if, you know, if like I assume with a small key he would have kept going.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, is this a that's a Swamp Palace play from Tam?
You are correct. I was thinking in this case, like, so what else is over here? So we do have Bombo's tablet in the area, but we have no book. So this is going to be Tam's hookless pendant Swamp Palace play. Boy, that's a mouthful of anything, but it's just one of those things that, you know, just doesn't leave a good taste in your mouth.
Yeah, so I mean, both runners probably not feeling happy like at this point, especially after Tam cleared Swamp here and does not find the hookshot. So, but yeah, it's definitely a fun one for us to watch. I would say.
Yeah,
Right?
it's really
still,
tempting. Yeah,
it's still kind of open, and even though Dunka did do Agate Tower basically for nothing, he's definitely not out yet.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, he's gonna be able to pick up his hammer and, of course, the more important item here, which is the bug net. I mean, basically, like, this dip into Swamp Palace for Tam is kind of like the Agate Tower version, right? Of, in this case, of whatever Doctor did.
I guess it depends on where Ice Run's gonna show up, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, what do we have left after this? I don't think there's much. I think it's just Hammer Packs, Swamp, 1 item in Ice, and Thief's Big Chest.
Let's see. So,
And maybe
Big Chest.
Pyramid Fairy. I'm not sure what the second 5/6 was. Looks like Swamp though.
Yeah, it's Swamp and was it Desert? That was the other one?
Yeah. So Pyramid Fairy also available.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, can we beat all 3 pendants and then just go blind pull? Even if we have the book, the lane?
It is possible, but yeah, I would advise against that.
Alright, so Tam does get a heart refill from the Compass Chest. Not what they are looking for. Alright, so Dunka, of course, picking up the very important bug net, even though he did fill both bottles with Blue Potion. So hopefully he's gonna be okay at least. He's on like okay health. Meyer is still pretty dangerous though, so he does.
We do have powder. We do have powder, and there's anti-fairy in pretty much every room in Mizurmaya, so should be okay.
Yeah, and I guess like he also does have the lamp, so he's not like he's at least gonna be able to see everything, so not gonna be too terrible. Alright, so unfortunately, you know, for Tam, not having the hookshot that we know that Dunka picked up from the Maiden Cell in Thieves Town, left side's already pretty tedious. You know, even with all of these, like, you know, diver down, you know, boots or, you know, whatever, but it's like, you don't have the hookshot, you have to do it twice.
So, chat mentioning it already, like, if you're a Dunka fan, right, you do not want Ice to be on the left side. If you're a Tam fan, this is kind of what you're looking for here. Because I don't see Dunka doing left side before he goes to the back, and it's as we mentioned earlier, against these kind of runners, every little bit of time matters.
Yeah, I mean, you've kind of seen, minus like the one, I would say, like, just logical, like, pause, right? For Dunka to kind of realize that this was in fact an Agassiz, but he obviously, like, recovered quite well. Like, other than that, like, Tam and Dunka have, like, not stopped moving, right? Like, they have, like, every single move is, like, it's relatively clean and very, very fast. So, yeah, as you said, like, in order for you to, like, give up even small amounts of time, it's just not comfortable. Alright, so Tam picked up the map in the left, I think it's the west chest, according to the spoiler log. God 1.0 that probably doesn't care at this point because so much health. Tried to hammer dash, but unfortunately got the lamp instead. What is this item?
It's not the ice rod.
It is not the ice rod.
So Tam, where do you go now? Is it Pen and Ice or Pen and Thieves?
Is it hammer pegs?
I guess it's Helmer and still trying to come up with a decision. Maybe Helmer has another item as well.
Oh yeah, that's
But I kind of can't see them go hookless swamp without killing Helmer. If
yeah.
Helmer really
Like
has an
I
item
want
left,
to.
right?
Yeah, I want to say that they got all the items. Certainly got 2 in the front, and I thought we saw all 3 in the back. But Tam's going to confirm for us whether or not there was an item back here. Certainly, of course, Pot is a crystal, and maybe just like as you said, Dunka took out Eastern Palace, even though there was nothing on the boss, just for some thinking time. Tam could be doing the same here.
Yeah. Even though I guess it's less. Yeah, I mean it is thinking time, right? But Tem has to make a decision after this, and it's not one you kind of want to make. It's like
No, all of these options are not appealing whatsoever.
yeah, it's like pick between pendants is never a fun game to play. Also, let's assume Tem goes to Thieves Town, right? Gets the hookshot. Do you go immediately back to Hookshot Cave, or do you? Like, what do you do?
Yeah, no, you bring up a really good point because I've forgotten that Tam hadn't done Hookshot Cave.
Although I guess you clear Swamp, right? And it kind of looks like back of Swamp is gonna have Ice Shot here.
Right. Yeah. So I guess right. So worst case scenario for Dunka is the last item in Thieves Town, right? Is going to be the Ice Rod. But if the Ice Rod is the back of Swamp, then Dunka's got his chance, right? Or Dunka's got. I mean, like this is still like anybody's race.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Dunka is was actually where are we going after this?
That's Swamp.
Oh right, because Dunka has the hook shot. Yeah, so this is going to be a fully clearable crystal dungeon for him. If he does not touch left side, which it looks like at least from Tam's side, it was just a rapid 5 rupees, right? So I assume you don't go in. You don't go back in after if there's only one item left. But I don't know. Maybe but your ice drop from Goma, so I don't know. Maybe you would.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, there's also Pyramid Fairy then, which you could do like right after, but it's all. I mean, I guess with Agadon, it's not that bad of a check. Or at least it doesn't feel as bad. I think it's actually kind of a quick one anyway.
Oh yeah, because yeah, that's right. Actually, so see, Dunka is 10 miles ahead of all of us. He defeated Aga, so we can take a shortcut when he does Pyramid Fairy.
Gotta save that time somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. I want to see him be able to do bomb dupe too. That would save even more time, I think. Maybe. Alright, so it looks like actually, so Helma did not have the last item, had the compass, but Tam claims their next crystal. So we've got Swamp Palace left, and we've got Turtle Rock. Where is that ice rod? We've never asked that question before, ever in a rando scene.
I kind of really wanted to be nice at this point. That would be fun.
That would be hilarious from our perspective, and actually a pretty viable spot for both of these runners because at least it would be even the field, right?
I think Tam also thinks it's fun. Oh no.
Yeah. Speaking of, all right. So Tam here is going back into Ice Palace. So Tam left immediately after Quake, right? So from their perspective, there are 2 more items here.
And it's also still unlocking pad as well after you do Thieves Town, right? Let's not forget about that.
Yeah, that's see see. This is why you're on the commentary the line, is you bring up all these good points. This is actually going to be some pretty good routing if especially if that book doesn't show up, right? We can't actually figure out what's on the pedestal, so we can just go get it.
So yeah, both runners gonna treat into new waters here in a second.
I see what you did there. Dunka is in swamp, going over this water. Tam is in ice. It's frozen water, essentially.
Yeah, that's what I was coming up with.
See, you are so clever. And actually, maybe it looks like, Dunka was probably looks like he was willing to learn Icebreaker, but maybe at least with Diver Down, even with the King of Samaria, we're just gonna do this the NMG way.
Yeah, he just doesn't like it. I think he could do it if he really needs to, but
yeah, I mean, it's not like one of those. You know, I think like Icebreaker, if you don't like it, it is probably still worthwhile, right? It just saves so much time in Ice Palace.
Yeah.
But Diver Down is like, eh. There is the Ice Rod in the back of Swamp Palace. Wait, was that Dunka's Go mode? That was Dunka's Go mode, right? Okay, so Dunka's in Go mode at like 1 hour and 17. This is great for Dunka, actually.
Yeah, this is really good for him right now. It's still kind of fast for Tam though. Yeah, because Dunka still has to do pod, and he has not set foot into T-Rock yet, right? So that's not like you just go through. So you kind of have to like go and look for keys and stuff, and it takes some time. And Tam just need. I mean, okay, Tam also has quite a lot to do, so I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the Ice Rod is here, actually, I almost want to say that Dunka actually has more of the advantage now, because, you know, as you did point out that, in this case, Dunka has all of Turtle Rock, and he has basically the back of Pod, right? But like, Tam doesn't have their portal saved for, I mean, they don't have a portal saved place for Turtle Rock, right? So they basically have to go through that place anyway. And then, I mean, yeah, so they have to basically get out of Ice, they have to do, all of Thieves, basically, right? Because you're not going to leave after Hookshot from Maiden Cell, you're going to check the big chest, probably kill Blind as well. And then you have to go back, you have to know to go back to the back of Swamp Palace, which...
I mean, it's looking very, very good for Dunka here, not gonna lie. But yeah, there's still some content left. We can still like maybe get a death or like a fall, like GT routing could matter, right? So it's not over. I mean, you kind of don't want to jinx it, but it's happened a lot in the past already, so who knows, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to also remember if, like, what the key layout was for Turtle Rock, because I remember we found silvers on Laser Bridge, but we also found a small key there, so...
Yeah, the small key was the last chest, though, so
yeah,
I'm pretty sure you're gonna pick up silvers,
okay.
like, no matter what, and I know big key was on the right side, like, right at the entrance, together with, like, a compass or something. Two smalls in front with big key,
I remember the small chest. The small key was in lava chest. Yeah, I do.
Oh no, Tam, that's not an item you want to find.
What did Tam just pick up?
It was the book.
Oh no, Tam, that is not what you want to see. Especially, so Tam's already done Swamp Palace, or at least the front of it, right, and left side, and it's like that was the best time to check Pablo's tablet, right? Tam has already done most of the stuff up the mountain, minus Hookshot Cave, but I mean, it's like it's already on the whatever northwest side, I guess, of the mountain. So like that's where Ether Tablet is, right? It looks like maybe Tam's gonna check out that right now. But yeah, this book is just a red herring or whatever, green herring at this point. It's just not gonna lead to anything good.
Oh yeah, I think an Ether Tablet check makes sense here. You kind of feel very bad already, so this is probably your best option. You just go and grab like Hookshot or Ice Rod and then do the respective dungeon. It's like the fastest check you can do as well.
Yeah, so unfortunately, at least it's a unique item, I guess. That's not any consolation, I'm sorry, Tam. Like, it's just not what we want to see. I mean, and this is, you know, I guess this is just part of random, right? Sometimes, you know, you're on the Ice Rod hunt, and you know, Tam actually started out super strong, right? Manages to completely avoid Aghanim, and basically went and was still able to keep track of all the logic, right? But it just happens to be that hook shot was pretty dang punishing for Tam being in Maiden Cell of Pendant Thieves Town, especially when there's only I mean, it's just sometimes it's just like you said, right? The lane, like, you gotta pick a pendant dungeon to go to, and it's just never a good feeling when you have to go make a decision like that.
Yeah, exactly, and it always, like, you always kind of like remember the times it didn't work out, so it just kind of adds to the bad feel that it like already has, right?
Yeah, poor Tam. I mean, you can, you know, and so when we get to see the highs, you know, of people, you know, Tam's progression, we also kind of see the lows sometimes, and Tam is not pleased basically with the results of the book. Chased immediately and just kind of led to nothing.
Yeah, the question is also, do you feel good if you're Dunka here, right? I would still say no.
Yeah, I mean, so Dunka, while he did recover well, like, I mean, my guess is he probably thought that Tam could do whatever, get over to East Dark World, right, without having to kill Aga. And maybe, especially if Dunka thinks, well, I just did Aga, and spent an extra like 5 to 6 minutes over my opponent, especially with the Aga 1 boss fight, which was like, I don't know, 10 blue balls or something like that. I mean, it was really long.
Yeah, I think if you're Dunka, you kind of assume that Tam also cleared everything, and then instead of doing Aga, you just jump over and like just avoid it. So,
yeah.
And the rest of the route was like pretty set in stone for him. So I think you just assume, okay, I just basically lost like 5 minutes flat, right?
Yeah, I mean, and but the Dead Rocks, man, they're not helping Dunka's case.
Yeah. So probably the worst enemies in the game.
I mean, Dunka does have Quake. He does have Powder.
Yeah,
Dunka is.
You're not kidding though.
All right. Well, I mean, Dunka, doesn't realize this yet. I mean, but like the hookshot in the back of Thieves Town or whatever, in Mining Zone, that is, maybe Dunka, thinks that that could have a chance, right?
I'm not sure. As I said, I think you kind of pretty much like exhaust all your options before you like current jump, unless it's like some minor one-offs. But I think maybe that's just a personal take. But I think you kind of do Back of Thieves for potentially like 2 to 3 items before you go over to East Dark World. I'm not sure. I mean, it's both kind of like a good decision, right? There's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
Or good or bad. It's just sometimes it turns out better and sometimes it doesn't. I think it's just like personal preference, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can't help. Yeah, you can't help where the items are initially placed, right? What could be like a good decision in the sea could be a terrible decision in the next sea.
And I think Tam made a reasonable choice there in that situation, and from their perspective, it kind of looked like it turned out very good as well, right? Because we got flippers that led to Quake, that led to Hammer, and was like, very good sequence of items. Potentially skipping Pen and Thieves, and little did they know at that point that both was kind of required, right? After all. And there was like no, as I said, there's no right or wrong. It's just in this case both required, and it's sadly just how random goes sometimes.
And this is actually, I think, why I like, at least like especially I think it's a vast improvement from last year. That last year was just single elimination best of 1, and when you get situations like this, like it just feels like so unfair. I mean, maybe unfair, but it's just so unpleasant, right? And so because Rando is just randomized, right? You really can't help some of these things, and this is why I think it's really nice to have a double, like another shot, basically, so you don't.
Yeah, exactly. I think double elimination is pretty good here, because you look at these brackets, and I think at this point in time, you pretty much only see like big names, right? And
yes, there's not a single name you don't recognize at this point.
Yeah, and even if you're like considered like a favorite, it can still happen that you just like randomly lose to someone who's considered like worse than you or something. And it's just part of the game, and everyone knows it. So it's like you don't go into that tournament expecting like, hey, I'm gonna be the winner of this or something. That's not anyone's motivation here. I think. I think you get a shot of like winning the prize money, right? But yeah, I think the main motivation here is just having some fun and yeah, racing these good people, right? Because
Heck yeah! I mean, how often do you get opportunities like this, right?
Yeah.
You are, this is probably like some of the best competition you're ever gonna get, in rando. Like, even so we had 15 total qualifiers, and basically pruned like 200 odd people down to top 128. I mean, and like the talent pool, like in general for the community and also for like just these runners has just gone through the roof. Oh, poor Tam.
Yeah, I think this was Tam's like last straw. I think they know at this point that it's
It's probably back to swamp, I guess, in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to swamp. Alright. I am proud of Tam for not reading what was on the pedestal. Just going to save that time and just figure it out.
And Dunka picked up his silvers.
Oh, Dunka! Yes, 1.5 heart. I don't know if that was intentional, but okay, that's right. He has a potion.
Still. You also remember to use it after the door transition, not during the door transition.
Oh, dude, that would be really scary.
They would have gotten some bad results here.
Unfortunately, though, I think there was just some extra pause. So like a lot of these rooms, it seems like if you do them right, it's fairly precise and they look really cool, right? And if you just kind of get even off quote unquote script, it goes very poorly.
Oh yeah, there's definitely rooms like this. That's true. So Dunka opting for the classic front
door, yeah.
Front Trinex.
Meanwhile, Tam back in Swamp Palace with the hook shot. Man, I guess a consolation for Tam is that they don't have to go too far in this case. I'm pretty sure Tam at this point knows Diver Down, so gonna save a little bit of time here over Duncan in order to get the Ice Rod, because I think he's just in the left flooded chest or something like that. And it doesn't have to go kill Argus. Although, with that, Dunka claimed his 7th crystal. He is all ready to go. Shoutouts, by the way, to our tracker Link Force again. You can see how full these inventories are for both these runners. Kind of scary. And it certainly has our work, made our tracker work extra hard today. But yeah, other than that, get your guesses in chat for where you think the GT big key is, 1 through 22, and hopefully Dunka's gonna find it sooner rather than later. Do you know what Dunka's path is, the lane?
No.
Okay. Is it the good one? Well, okay. So is he team the lane or is he team Airy?
I have no idea, honestly. I was just watching Tam being very thrilled about that ice rod. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, not very happy, I would say. But,
oh yes, that's right. I forgot Swamp's a crystal. He does have to get in this case. They have to kill Argus. Okay, all right. So Dunka is going is team the lane. Could have been team the lane even harder if he just went to Ice Palace a little bit earlier. Went to Hope Room, no key, so looks like we're going to go left.
So if you're Tam here, right? Let's say you go up the mountain now, you just rush through T-Rock. Do you just, like, at this point, gamble for Tyrone and hope it's
maybe?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's something you want to do, but there's definitely occasions where I think it's reasonable to go for it, right?
It's all I mean, and so mathematically speaking, like it's not a good. It's not a sorry. It's not a favored decision, but you're also playing against an opponent. You're playing against a meta. You're trying to figure out where you are in the race, right? I mean, and GG Vicky still could be there, equal chance.
Yeah, I mean, from Tam's perspective, right? You did last location that hookshot pretty much, and the ice rod as well.
And you did a bunch of, and you did everything. Yeah, you did a bunch of like extra stuff too, right? Like on your way to there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tam did everything except for mushroom, and yes, and you're kind of wondering, like, my opponent's still not done. Maybe it's entire room, and GT is just taking forever, right?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, and Tam also, Tam is also aware that they skipped, like, they were able to bypass Aga, right? So there should be at least some, 5 to 6 minute buffer. But again, like, they did so much stuff after. It was yeah, it's hard to tell, like, you know, kind of where you are in this match.
So meanwhile, we see Dunka coming up. Yeah,
I probably should have been counting, right? Okay, so it was 2 in Hope Room, 1 on the Torch was 3. Southwest Rooms were 7. Fireball Room was 8. Snake Room was 9.
Yeah, so that's number 13.
13?
Right?
All right, good. We could both count and add. I'm proud of us. Okay, so Dunka with, so he did pick up Blue Mail, right? Yeah, so Blue Mail, it's hard to kind of tell, but luckily we have our tracker. I'll be able to click Blue Mail for us. He's got silvers. He's got tempered. He's really traversing here to get these mimics up close and personal.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, though, Tam is making their way through Turtle Rock. Hopefully, we'll be at Trinex very shortly.
So let's see Dunka's count up here in a second.
Oh no.
Never mind, in 5 seconds.
Oh my gosh. Oh. So, I mean, this might be even more kind of like tense for Dunka. I mean, I'm glad he's like, you know, laughing this off, but it's like, these are every little thing, especially at this point, right? I think it's just going to add up. Like, you know, if Dunka wasn't feeling great earlier about the seed, right, he definitely can't be feeling good right now.
Oh no.
Okay, so he does have 1 blue potion left. It is kind of scary right now. I'm not sure if you want to use your blue potion.
Yeah, that was a nice power out shot though. Knowing that,
dude.
Knowing that there's like a small magic container in the bottom left. So you just fire out the Zazak and then just pick up the container while the Zazak is like slowly burning to death.
That pink Zazak in G3 though, man, I don't know. It's like, I'm irrationally annoyed when he decides to go left or go right and just misses your dash.
Oh yeah, but there's an easy strat. If you enter Gauntlet 3, you can just shoot 1 arrow immediately and it will, like, either the arrow hits the Zazak and knocks him into your path when you dash, or you will just miss, but then also like kill him with a dash. That's like an easy strat that only
nice.
like very little.
Cool. Okay, noted for next time.
Yeah, because I think everyone who regularly plays Rando agrees with you that that's very annoying when he just goes right immediately and you just dash past and then you're at the bottom and he's just like hanging out top right corner. Yeah.
Alright, so Tridex is down for Tam. I'm gonna pick up their 7th crystal. And then it is on our way to GT.
Yeah, all things considered, though, not too far behind, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, in fact, like, this was quite the wild race. I mean, you know, like, early on, like, the fact that Tam was able to bypass Aga, that was a really decent, like, huge chunk of time, actually, that Tam saved over Dunka. Tam made, like, really good decisions, like, early on, right? Sequence broke into Ice Palace. Did Sequence Green, whatever. Got the Flipberries from Pod, got into Ice Palace, left immediately after Quake, went to Mire, got the hammer, right? I mean, it was just like, things were just looking so good. It just happens to be, in this case, that hook shot was just super punishing.
Yeah.
Alright, so it looks like Dunka, though, is pretty confident with his 12 hearts and blue potion into Aga, not even going to bother to open up the last chest. If Dunka dies here in Aga's favor, that would be pretty tragic. Alright, so it looks like, okay, so Tam looks like he's going to take, so Tam is on, I guess, from Area 216's perspective, Team Airy, going to take all the way up to Stalfos room. But in this case, because there was no small key in Hope, oh no, this is actually going to be some divergence, right? Because the key was in Rando room. So Tam's so Tam's gonna be able to get. I mean, they've already gotten their small keys, right? So they're gonna go all the way to Compass room and I guess open up a couple more chests.
Yeah, they took out the mirror already as well, so that's definitely not gonna be a foot left or something.
Alright, yeah, so that is down for Dunka. We have 1 more enemy in our path. Happens to be a pretty significant one, but it's just only 1 more enemy. How bad could it be, right? How bad could it be, Tele?
It can go downhill very fast if you're not paying attention. But I think Dunka played this game sometimes, so
Okay, just every
I
once in
think
a while.
I think he got this.
All right. Okay, so setting up. Hopefully, we're gonna get the 1-1 here on Ganon. Looks like actually a pretty good setup. Maybe not.
Yeah, I think he was 1/ short on the bottom there. Yeah, this is not a good position for a single phase 2 either. Because you cannot do like double spins. But it's fine. He's gonna get there, right?
Yeah, so speaking of, actually, do we see this on Tam's side? You were talking about when you could potentially just do Tile Room, right? That was Tam's decision!
Yeah, as I said, I think it makes a lot of sense, right? Especially if you're wondering, like, why is my opponent not done yet? Like, maybe GT is just taking forever. Vicky in a weird spot, and yeah. And then like, if you feel extra bad, you just go and do it. I think it's the right call.
Okay, most important thing for Dunka is that he does not fall. I don't think he's in danger of dying, but he just needs a couple more arrows, and then he can claim victory in this winner's bracket.
Oh no, Tam!
Oh, Tam's going full right. Oh man. Oh yeah, this is unfortunate because I think this is like the longest path to Random Room, right? Because you can't get to Random Room this way.
Yeah. Oh. So what Tam needs to do here is like kill Ice Amos, and then you kind of like go back up. Or mirror, and then you got to go all the way around to left side, and you pretty much isolate Random Room.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, on that, GG's Dunka. Dunka is expectantly surprised at the fact that he has just finished his seed, claimed first place, and he is going to be our 2 racers to move on to the round of 32. He is done with his side of the bracket. GG's Dunka, just waiting for Tam in this case to finish up. Speaking of, hello, Dunka, GG's. How are you feeling?
This is a weird game, man.
This is a weird game, yeah.
How weird is it, Dunka?
Well, I found out, obviously now, why Tam was so far behind. And then in hindsight, it makes some sense, but yeah, it was one of those where I was thinking I was good 10 behind.
Yeah, we were wondering, because when you were in Thieves Town and you pulled out that hook shot, I think like pretty much simultaneously, Tam was like already in East Dark World, got their flippers, got their Quake, and went out of ice. And we were wondering, okay, what's like the right call here? And then it turns out that it's actually both plays being correct, right?
Yeah, I mean, I kept it all in sequence because I can't kern jump to save my life. So I could have spent 10 minutes trying to kern jump, and I might as well just do Aga Tower at that point.
Yeah, that's what we thought as well. So it makes sense. If you're not comfy with a glitch or a setup, you just kind of like not do it.
Yeah, it looks like actually we're also joined by Tam, and unfortunately we've actually been told that we are actually going to be cut pretty short. So Tam, but we would first give you some GGs. You played a really good race, especially early on, being able to skip Aga. Any hopefully quick thoughts before we kind of try and wrap things along?
Pendant Dungeon Bad.
Sorry, Tam.
No, GG Dunka. This was,
yeah, GG.
I wasn't expecting this to be a very easy race, and then when at a certain point, it's like, if Thieves Town has anything in it, aside from in the big chest, I'm screwed, and it did, so.
You made some very good decisions, but I think, as I think everybody probably knows, especially from playing so much rando, is that, you can't help where the locations are, and in this case, hook shot was not your friend today.
It was also like a 5/16 escape, so it was just really bad.
I had a 521.
I see we have very high standards here.
I had a 521. I had like 3 or 4 bonks in escape.
No, I think if you watch this back, you'll just see like a range of negative expressions on my face throughout the first 5 minutes.
You seem pretty happy when you found the hammer.
Oh yeah, well that went well.
Oh, and We also, well, at least I personally enjoyed the antics of your digging endeavors in
Oh
order
my
to get
God,
up to like
amazing.
chess money, chess game, dig game. It was fun.
I was not thinking about rupees. I saw the 20 on Death Edge. I'm like, yeah, I don't need a red rupee. That's fine.
But you guys did run a really awesome race. I was really excited to watch. Excellent performances for both of you. I think we're gonna try and wrap this up. So, sorry, both. Thank you so much for letting us restream you guys. Always really pleasure to watch you. Dunka made it to bracket of 32. Congratulations, Tam. Good luck in your redemption arc. Best of luck. I'm sure you'll be great. And of course, thank you so much for our runners. Thank you so much to Linkforce again for tracking. Blaine, thank you as always. This has been a blast to be able to talk with you. Certainly look forward to the next time.
Yeah, thank you as well. That was a fun one.
Yeah. All right. And so yeah, we're just gonna wrap up and let you guys take on to the next race. Have a good night.